Hello everyone and welcome to Be Cloud Ready YouTube channel. In this channel we bring different guests and we also talk about different topics whether related to tech or non-tech as well. And also sometimes very specialized toward anybody who want to get into the tech field. And how do you get into tech field? Of course you have to get a job. It means you have to pass an interview. And here you go. You have numerous videos you can see preparing interview, but this interview actually specifically designed for getting into tech and clearing a tech interview and the softer side of it. We are not going to tech how you write your Java code. We're going to talk how you're going, if you know how to write a Java code, how you clear rest of the hurdles. To do that, we have our special guest Larissa Maku, who is specialized in mindset and success trainer. She's talks about how you achieve a successful interview experience, because when I met her and the prospective interview was completely changed. Before I used to think interview means okay, I need to answer a bunch of questions, but how she showed me that interview is all about an experience, and at the end of it, if the experience is positive from both of the side, then you get the job, otherwise you don't get it. So without any further delay, let me introduce Larissa. Thank you. Welcome to Be Cloud Ready.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here,
Cool, as always.
as always.
So let's talk about how someone should prepare for an interview.
So, there's so many schools of thought for how to prepare for an interview, but essentially, rather than just doing a bunch of stuff, I really feel like preparing yourself mentally for the interview is the best part. And one of the most important things is, like you said, it's an experience. And to create that experience, you want to create that experience in your mind first so it can become reality. So one of the first things I would recommend you do is really get to know the company that you're working for. And I say that you're working for, not that you really want to work for. Because if you just want to work there and you don't see yourself working there, you're already starting to set yourself up for maybe getting the job. So go research the company, Google them, get to know them, talk to people that you know that work there, or maybe see if you can get in touch with an employee, find out what their experience is like, see what some of their pain points are and where you might be able to help and serve them. Really think about and learn about the company that you're working for so that you can see how you can be a benefit to them. Because it's not just about you showing up for a job, it's about you really providing service and offering something bigger and better to an amazing organization that you want to get into a partnership with. You can get a job, but when you spend so much time there, you really want to be there. So really get yourself emotionally involved. And then when you get a picture of that company and you really paint something for yourself and you get a great understanding of that company, sit back, maybe close your eyes, and create a movie out of that
Wow.
picture. Yeah, it's really cool. And so this is the power of visualization. But like you said, tech is more than just coding Java. You have people you work with. You have a location that you work in. Maybe even that might be at home or that might be in a facility. Wherever that is, really think about how you work on a daily basis, who you interact with, what your bosses are like, and what amazing opportunities you have for learning and growth at the company. What you want to bring to yourself to the table. So if you close your eyes and think of that movie script, it's almost like you literally play a movie in your mind of how you want your experience at that company to be. And then you take it one step further and think of who you need to be and who you want to be at that company. Because if you are going to hire yourself, do you want to be someone that has a great attitude, or do you want to just show up to work tired and underrested? Like having an extra, double fisting your coffee
Yeah.
just so you can stay awake and like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I can barely do it. That's not going to set you up for success and you're not going to feel great about it. And so picture how you want to bring yourself to the table and who you want to be that person. And then really know why you want to do it. Because like I had mentioned, it's like if you're showing up for a paycheck, how motivating is that going to be? you've got this energy and these vibrations that come out of your body. And if you're like, I just really need a job, they're going to feel that tension in your body when you show up. So really dig deep and think, like, why do I actually want to do this? Why did I even want to go to school for this? What piqued my interest when I first thought of this idea? Because sometimes it's easy to just get stuck in the day to day and focus on what's happening every single day repetitively. But what was the joy? What was the creativity? What was the intrigue that drew you in? So, three things right off the bat, like, learn about the company, think of who you want to be at the company, and know why you want to get there. And so that would be my very, very first starting point. It's a lot. It's a lot. I feel like I've
Yeah,
talked a lot,
I
but
can
it's
feel it.
so
Like,
key. It's so key.
yeah, and looks like a lot of brain exercise before you actually land up in the interview. And
Yeah.
same thing because the point that you highlighted, these are actually sometimes you are coming out of college, you may have these information because you have a lot of school friend they are looking for job. But in my experience in B Cloud Ready, we do a lot of reskilling work in a
Right.
corporate setup, or someone is just a industry veteran. They have been doing 10 years and they want to reskill and they want to get in the job market. And these things they might have done it 10 years ago, but now they have forgotten it. And I think that is a very key takeaway from that. So coming back to the same thing, so what are maybe few points you can quickly highlight before we begin? I mean, for the interview, what few things we should be keeping in the mind?
Right. So even before you get to the interview, really step into that interviewer's shoes, right? And so put yourself in their shoes and think of who you want to be from their perspective. Who are they searching for? Because if you can be sympathetic to them, that's an easy way for you to just step into that position and really see if you're even a good fit for that company. If you're like, ooh, I wouldn't want to work there, why are you applying? Right?
Yeah.
Like the obvious thing, because probably not a good idea. If you have bad vibes applying for a job, maybe you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So really apply where you have a synergy, because working for that employer, you're going to be able to express that to them. And think about the attitude you need when you show up for that job, because attitude is key. And this is something that's going to really be key coming into the interview. In my world, in my definition of attitude, it's not just showing up with like, hey, a smile on your face. It's actually bringing your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions together. Like, you could be thinking great things and having great beliefs, but if you show up for work half an hour late every day, that's not really a great attitude. There's a disconnect. Or you could be doing all the work, but you could be showing up with a shitty mindset. So, sorry for swearing, but it's like, if you have a terrible mindset, even if you do a great job, there's going to be something that slides along the way. Maybe your coworkers aren't going to feel good around you. Maybe your work will start to slip. It's bad energy in the universe. So think, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, all three really need to be there. And you need to show up to that interview with an impeccable attitude, because the most successful people in the world have an impeccable attitude. And that it's not just rich people, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of money and aren't happy and have a bad attitude. It's really truly successful people in all aspects. They do have a great attitude. So,
Wow, that is a great point.
yeah.
And why this is, I really like to second on the thought that when you talk about attitude and getting the paycheck thing, remember, we if you are like, if you're watching these videos, you're probably looking into field of a like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, or a cloud computing. So remember, these jobs, these are not like a blue collar job where basically anybody can fit the brick. Again, don't get me wrong, even setting a brick is not easy. But in these type of jobs, it's a very technical and very much you have to devote yourself for that particular project. And especially if you're talking about startups, usually startup may or may not pay you that much of salary. They're really looking for motivation because they want you to invest in the company and the product. And of course, down the line, there may be success, there could be failure. That is a different story. But what they are looking for, what value that you bring into the company rather than the dollar value. Because for a good talent, believe me, there is no dollar value at all. And that is a great point. So now I'm at the interview. Okay.
Right.
So now
Yes.
tell me, how do I approach during the interview process to be successful?
Right. So, first of all, before you walk in there, you close your eyes and you go through that movie and really think about replay that movie in your mind so you know exactly who you are, what you're going for, and who you need to be to get in there. That's going to get you set up on the right foot. And when you're there, you want to show genuine interest. And a lot of times people talk about building rapport, and it's like, yes, make eye contact, yes, smile, yes, shake the hand properly, and do all of these things effectively. But when you actually care, when you care about learning who the person is, and you care about the company, and you show them that you are really genuinely interested in where you are, in where you want to be, and who they are, that's going to leave such a huge impression because you can't fake that.
Yeah.
And even if you are technical, even if you don't specialize in the soft skills as you put it, people can sense it. You may not be able to articulate it. They may not be able to articulate it. But that's where magic happens. Even if you fumble all of your words, if you show you really care and you really have a passion and you can help the company, show them how you can help them and add that value,
Yeah.
they're going to be impressed. They're going to want to move forward in some capacity. And even if they can't, maybe that'll lead to a better opportunity elsewhere.
Yeah,
and you have
perfectly.
no idea where that opportunity comes from. And so when you're finishing the interview, I think even throughout the interview, really be thankful. Be thankful for the opportunity you have to talk to somebody, to learn something, to share your story, and to
Yeah.
share how you might be able to share your gifts with them. Because gratitude puts you in a great vibration. And before this talk, we were actually talking in the back, and we were talking about building momentum. And
Yeah.
you brought it up. You're like, when you start being grateful, or when you have one good experience and you stack that on top of another and on top of another and
Yeah.
on top of another,
It just builds it on.
You totally do it. It just builds momentum.
And momentum is a key. Actually, I have seen
is.
one of the interview of one of my colleague. He was trying to hire one person, and interview hasn't finished. They said, "Okay, we need this guy."
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, the momentum was so good, one after another. So again, if you going for a technical, especially technical interview, see, I have given many technical interviews, different countries, passed, failed, no regrets. But each interview, I learned something, how to handle maybe technically, maybe soft skill. What I my takeaway lesson is, even if you fumble on one of the question, technical, just don't care. Be open about it. If you do not know something, be upfront and honest. See, I do not know this, but yes, I have capability. I can learn and quickly. That they appreciate a lot. And actually, one of the interview I remember, and they were, I think, couple of years ago. I didn't know anything about big data. To be honest, they said, okay, I say I do not know anything about big data, but yes, if it comes to coding, doesn't matter. I can code it. They were happy with that. But again, if you try to fake your experience, sometime if you're not a good fake artist, it may or may not work. So coming back to this thing, so any final thing that you want to talk about?
Yeah, and just touching on your story, it wasn't about what you knew or what you didn't know. It was that you brought yourself to the table.
Yeah.
And I think even just wrapping it up, you want to be yourself.
Yeah.
And you want to be the best version of yourself each and every day when you come forward.
And that's what your specialty is.
Yeah.
And if anybody is joining, Larissa, she is specialized in making sure you or any enterprise to be at best what they can be. And that is what I've, in my experience, I have learned a lot from you. And thank you again for being on the show and sharing the experience with me and with our viewers. And thank you everyone. And for more information, please check the comment below. We'll have all information and also how to reach out to Larissa for her services. And we'll see you again. Please subscribe. Bye.